All right, so this conversation is just TCW scholarship information um in partner with Wells Mountain Initiative. So we'll be having two speakers, a representative like the country coordinators of Well Mountains Initiative, and they will be sharing a whole lot of information to us tonight about the scholarship, everything that we need to know. And like I did mention at the beginning of this conversation, it's not necessarily about you as a person. You may be or might be a graduate already, but someone close to you may need that access to school, or access to some form of sponsorship, access to some form of assistance and the likes of that. So every information that will be shared tonight, I am very certain will be of great help to us and to the people around us. So it's a good time to say welcome once again. If you're just joining the call, you are highly welcome. On the call tonight, I have with me Dr. Daniel Femi. He is a country coordinator of Wells Mountain Initiative. Also, someone else will be joining the call, and person of Dr. Michael, rather, pardon me. He was on the call earlier, so he will be joining the call shortly again. So these two representatives who are here for us, and they will be enlightening us about everything that we need to know about Wells Mountain Initiative Scholarship. So let's get ready, and I'm sure that the time spent will not be a waste. And for those that are just hearing about TCW for the first time, so let me just do a quick overview of what TCW means. It stands for the Confident Woman. It's a community of ladies who are always together, empowering each other, trying to thrive in every way. So in TCW, we believe that a woman can have a 360-degree life balance. So we try to encourage each other in every capacity, financially, academically, skill-wise, every capacity, mental health. I mean, we currently have had a program that lasted for 10 weeks, and we had our last session on Thursday. So it's been an amazing community. So if you are a young lady and you are currently on the call and you really want to be part of the community, this is a great opportunity for you to reach out, and we will be glad to have you join us. So let's get back to why we are here tonight. Well, Mountain Initiative Scholarship. If you're curious and you really want to know what they do, if you have quite a number of questions, or maybe you just heard someone say something about the scholarship and you really, really want to know in depth about the requirements, the things that you need to do, and every other thing that you need to succeed in your entire application, or when you finally even get it, and every other information that you need to know. So you're welcome. I'm sure that you're going to get all of those information tonight. So let me formally welcome Dr. Daniel Femi as he takes the stage. Good evening, sir. Please confirm that you can still hear me.
Yes, I can. Thank you for the introduction. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right. Just as the moderator said earlier, my name is Dr. Femi Daniel. I am a Global Advisory Board member of the WMI initiative. And basically, what WMI stands for is Wells Mountain Initiative. It's a community where we grow together, where we help one another, and it is being located in the United States of America. It was founded by Tom Wells, and we usually call him Papa Toms. And there are a lot of opportunities in as a WMI scholar. So you may want to say, but you said WMI scholar. So WMI is basically involved in providing scholarship. Can you hear me? I just want to confirm if
Yes,
you
sir, we
can.
can hear you loud and clear. Yeah.
Yeah, so WMI provides scholarship to undergrad students. That means they don't provide scholarship to graduate students in terms of masters or a PhD. So what they basically do is provide undergrad scholarship to deserving students who otherwise will not be able to continue their education. Um, so it was founded by Tom Wells when he came to Ghana and discovered that there are a lot of gap that need to be met for deserving students so that they can continue their education. So I think the first scholars were Ghanaians. So and mind you, the scholarship is basically for only for yeah, I've said that before, undergrad. So currently we have a lot of scholars, basically all over the world, especially in developing countries. So Nigeria, for example, is a developing country. So other countries like you can see countries like you can see scholars from Nepal, you can see scholars from Zambia, from South Africa, from Zimbabwe, from a lot of African countries. So um, as long as you're deserving student and you actually need the scholarship, so you put in an application and we they have it reviewed, and if you are awarded, then you become a WMI scholar. So in addition to that, it is also a community where we grow together, like I said initially. So WMI every 2 years uh, or 3 years, just within that range, they bring up what they call Dream Bridge Conference. Was also a beneficiary of that, where I went to Kenya for I think a week conference. It was packed with a lot of personal and professional development. It's basically like a conference where they talk about, CV writing, pitch, grant writing, and a lot of things that will empower scholars professionally and academically. Likewise, WMI also have another initiative, which is the provision of grants. They take us through writing grants so that we will be able to, impact our community. So another thing is that for you to be a deserving scholar or for you to be a WMI scholar, you also have to have what we call community development work. If you search on the website, you see that some of the criteria is that you must have done one or two community works. So if you're the type that have an NGO or you've done maybe SDG drive or whatnot, or you've impacted your community in one way or the other, those are who WMI is looking out for, because we believe that or WMI believes that giving you the scholarship is an avenue for you to, go to school, continue your education, and graduate. But you must also leave an indelible mark in your community that you serve. So that is to say that while giving you the scholarship, you also have to commit at least 100 hours of community works in your community, in wherever you are. You have to do something, it can be anything at all, as long as it impacts and solve a problem in the community. So therefore, they also provide grants of the amount of $1,000 that the community development grants. So that is only reserved for those who just graduated from the scholarship, and we also have the growth grants of $5,000, which also you must have implemented the community seed grant. So all of these are three things I mentioned. First of all, the scholarship. Secondly, the professional and academic development, and also grant writing in a way to impact your community. So sometimes people ask a lot of questions. I cannot become a WMI scholar. It is very simple and straightforward. First of all, you must be I think the application is out now, and when you go over the application, you see a lot of information that is going to guide you on submitting a very good application. But I'll just run through it so that maybe one of two persons may, encourage people to apply. So the first is that you must be under 35 years as at August this year, next year rather. That's August 2026. So, and you should also be studying your own country. For example, if you are a Canadian and you are studying in Nigeria, you're not eligible. So you have to be studying your home country where you have citizenship. And you must also have completed your secondary school education. So because you're going to be submitting some grades, academic records and the likes. So another thing is that you have to have the intention to apply to a university, or you may be currently an undergrad, and so it may not only be a university program or degree, it can also be a diploma program. So for us in Nigeria, you can also be doing your ND or your HND, or maybe you're in nursing school, um, or diploma degree program. And you also have to plan, you also have to have the intention that when you're done with your studies, you want to impact the community. I've said something like that before, but this in a way, like you have to plan to work in your home country after you graduate. So basically, for those of us that just want to finish school and japa, this program is not for you, because we believe that you have to at least do something in your community or in your home country before you can think of leaving the country. So you also should have volunteering experience. This is very important to us. Like I said, it's one of um, our vision, because we believe providing scholarship for you, you should also give back to the community. So we want you to have previous experience, volunteering experience, amounting to at least 100 hours of community service, either during when you undergoing your studies or previously. And sometimes we appreciate if you have evidence. And in terms of your financial resources, you are going to we'll be asking you for some financial evidence. Like for example, you can say what's your tuition, your school fees, your library fee, or whatnot, and then those things are required in the application. Now, lastly, before I go, I think my case is on the call. So lastly, sometimes, when you say first generation university student, they are sometimes the most affected in terms of undergoing their studies, because they are the first in their family, and most likely they will be more impactful. So we encourage first generation university students to apply. However, it is not a criteria. If you apply and you're not the first generation student, that means you're not the first in your family to go to the university. We do not, we are not going to throw out your application, rather, but we prefer first generation university student. So, again, um, there are some dates, important dates for opening of the scholarship. Scholarship open December 1st this year, and it's going to um, close March 1st, 2026. And because the scholarship, the application rather, is created to close that time, 12 p.m., or sorry, 11:59 p.m. That is March 1st, but that EST, because then we are 5 hours ahead as in Nigerian. So basically, the application will end March 2nd. Yeah, March 2nd, but you should just be mindful of the time. I think 5 a.m. in the morning or so. So I also talk about, okay, I've talked about some of the things like uh, our community development works. So I want to talk about that aspect because I was actually a beneficiary, and as a eye health advocate, I've been able to um, reach out to over 1,000 people, and we have done over 60 cataract surgeries, all because of WMI. So my story is this: while I was in 300 level, I studied optometry at the University of Benin. While I was in 300 level, we were required to get some equipment for us to do clinical rotations in school. So some of those equipments amount to about 800,000 naira. I think that was post-COVID, so things were really not okay. Things were difficult. My parents couldn't even pay my school fees, though the school fees then was not really expensive as in private university. So I got to find out about WMI and I applied. Now my application, I would say, is not that is not that is not how am I going to put it now? Is not really fantastic. I wasn't even really expecting that I would get selected, but there are some things I noticed that helped in the application. I've seen because as I graduated and became, please, am I still audible?
Yes, and we can still
Can you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Thank you. Loud and clear.
Okay. All right. So, like as I was saying, what helped me in the application was that there were evidences, there were pictures, there were evidence of community works that I've been into. Somebody who, wherever they say there's outreach to, go check people's eyes, create awareness among secondary or primary school. I'm always there. So, and I took pictures, and while on the application, there were rooms for us to put in those things, and which helped me in the application. So what I also want to say is that keeping record of community works, if you even if you're not going to apply, but keeping records of these things that you do in terms of community, you don't know how it can help you in terms of applications too. So that was accepted, and then I went through documentations, and I received my first $300. I was I was I was awarded $600 then, but they do it they pay it half that they pay February and another September. So that helped me through my education. It's not a one-time scholarship. That's what you'll be paid every year, well, depending on your application. But one thing is that you have to be truthful, know what your academic cost is, and because those informations were verified. And after that, after graduating, I reported and told them that I graduated. So before I graduated, that's 2023, and the DBC, that is Dream Big Conference, came, and I also applied and I was selected and traveled. It was a very, very memorable event. It was really an eye opener, to meet a lot of people from different countries, from the US, from Canada, from a lot of meet the people who organize WMI, talk to them about your dreams, your vision. That's why they call it the Dream Big Conference. So it was really an eye opener, and it was something that actually influenced my personal development or who I am today. So from there, when came back and graduated and applied for the community seed grant, I was also awarded. and did a lot of community works that I'm proud of today. So this is just to say that WMI is a community that really give you the chance and the opportunity to grow. You're not left alone. They teach you how you can be impactful in your community, and they support you in any way they can. And yeah, so that's just my own little talk about WMI. I think Michael will have a lot to say.
Amazing. Can we celebrate Dr. Femi for that? Thank you for sharing those amazing experiences with us. I hope that we are all taking notes already, and then we are already penning down our questions, because I'm sure you should have a question to ask. I mean, I already have a question now. So while he was speaking, he did mention something about evidence of community work. I was going to ask a question. What about instances of people who haven't really have opportunity to maybe do something really significant? What evidence can they have? Maybe you attend to that question much more later, but I'm sure somebody should be thinking in that line. I'm not sure, but I'm just saying that. What about people that doesn't really have they haven't really done anything that really significant, or is how do you really tailor it in such a way that it can appear to be like, okay, yes, I have interest in community development, but this is just a few things I've been able to do or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for that question. It is really very important, but I have to say that impact have scale. We have KPIs, but no matter how small your impact is, it is community work. So for me, even in WMI, as long as we just want to see that you have the qualities or you have the characteristics of someone who we impact the community. So we don't really want you to be someone who have already done a lot. While I was still an undergrad, I think the only community work I did was to go to schools, do SDG drive, talk to them about preventable blindness, eye hygiene, stuff like that. Not really big projects or be involved in big massive projects all up till now. So don't I think we should not really quantify ourselves by it has to be something big, no matter how small it is. Maybe you see a place that is really bushy, and you do some sanitation there, and that's solving a problem. And do you get that? Hello?
Really big. Dr. Femi, that you don't have to quantify it that way. One major thing that they are looking at is the quality and character to impact. So that should be one of the take home for tonight. All right, thank you so much, sir. On the call, we have Dr. Michael. Dr. Michael, good evening. Please confirm that you can hear me loud and clear.
Okay, I can hear you.
All right, good evening. So can we welcome Dr. Michael to the stage as he also get to share some other information with us. Thank you, sir.
Okay. I hope I'm being heard clearly.
Yes, we can.
Yes. I'm going to apologize because I'm actually moving around currently at the moment. So, but I'll try to settle down a bit. I was trying to suggest that we get to ask, maybe Dr. Femi takes questions, and then I'll just try to chip in, and that's what he's done.
All right, sir. Thank you. Okay, we have question coming in already. I like that. Please let's keep them coming. Someone is asking, sir, what about those that just have academic achievement, like volunteering for academic stuff alone, do they also have chance of being selected? Please, Dr. Femi, can you help us to respond to that question?
Okay, please, can you repeat the question? Okay,
Okay, I
okay. I
think
just
she
read. I just
asked.
read.
Okay, okay,
I
okay.
just read. Michael, you can go. You can answer the question.
Okay, okay. My chief, I was going to read it out for you, but I think basically she was asking about those that just have academic achievements, like volunteering for academic stuff. So I think one of the things that is very important is the ability to express what you've done. So when Dr. Femi was talking, he highlighted activities that aid the community. Now, this academic, we call like academic activities. When you mentioned academic achievement, sorry, when you mentioned volunteering for academic stuff, I assume maybe it's in the purview of taking tutorials, getting to teach your colleagues. I'm just assuming because it's a bit vague. But then even that itself is community service, just like Femi mentioned. He said it doesn't have to be something very big, but you need to be able to frame and communicate what you are doing, right? You need to be able to frame it. So you are a 200 level student, you're a 100 level student, you are able to bring together your classmates, form a discussion group, and that helps people in the group prepare for exams. All you need to do is communicate how that action, because basically it's the same principle, the ability to see a problem, take initiative in order to solve the problem. So you need to find a way to be able to communicate what you've done, who you've impacted, and how that fits into what WMI is trying to build. I don't know if that clarifies for this question. And then Femi could also chip in because he's also gone through quite a lot of applications.
Yeah. So, academic works and volunteering, as long as you have evidence, yeah. So it's welcome.
All right, thank you, Dr. Femi. Thank you, Dr. Michael, for those responses. So please, let's keep the questions coming. If you want to unmute, kindly raise your hand so I can permit you to do that so that you can ask your question live here. But also, you can just send them on the chat box and I'll be here to read them out. I have one question here with me, or some questions rather. Someone is asking, like, what, based on your personal experience, what was like the most challenging part of the experience that was most challenging for you while you were trying to apply for the scholarship?
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
All right. So the most challenging part is the part where you submit email for references, because you have to keep tab to those who are going to recommend you for the scholarship. So there's a part where you put email of maybe your academic advisor or someone who knows you very well. The criteria and the criteria for someone to serve as a reference for you is there. Like the stated must not be your relation or your uncles like that. So maybe your lecturer or someone who is your leader in your community work or something. So you have to like put that email and also keep that, or else your application is not will not be accepted without the person actually submitting the reference.
Okay, so is there anything that you can really suggest, like, for people that hoping to apply, like something you would want them to lay their hands on to get themselves really firm in that aspect so that they'll be able to do the right thing that they need to do.
Okay. Can you repeat the question
Can
again? Sorry.
anyone? Okay, so I was asking, yes, you were making reference to emails for referencing and the other criteria for referees. I was saying that what is your specific advice for people who are looking forward to applying? Like, what are the specific things that they need to start putting in place in that regards to be able to get that part very well?
Okay, very important question. So, when you're referencing or you're providing recommendation for a scholarship, there are things you have to talk about them. You have to talk about their academic qualities. You have to be able to vouch that they will be of importance to the community, which is what when you read the application, the criteria, you have to have someone who knows you that is going to write with some examples about you. You understand? For example, the person can say that, oh, I have known this person for 5 years now, or sorry, for 3 years now. He's my student. He has been an SLX student, and I'm even aware that he's into volunteering works, stuff like that. So those are the things that you just write in the application, because they're going to send your recommender an application to fill. So on that application, he or she is going to submit the recommendation.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for that. Dr. Michael, would you want to add something to that?
Okay, so just to keep in view, I think that just like Femi shared, the part where you take note of your recommendations is very important. So one of the things I noticed again, I think is even one of the screening processes, is that a large number of people do not finish their applications, right? So the key is starting early. There's quite a lot of information. You need to gather a lot of data. So there's a lot of your credentials that they'll be asking about. There's essays that you'll be writing. Um, I'm glad that these questions are coming up because they're just ticking off quite a number of things that I was hoping to highlight because we're already almost an hour into the call and the time might not be enough. So one of the things that we're hoping to do for I and Femi is that after now, you can always reach out with specific questions as regards the application process. But I think that one of the things that's very important to note is that most people don't finish the applications. There's a lot of information, and after a while, people get sidetracked halfway. So Femi mentioned that you need to get someone who is going to write recommendations for you. So you're going to have to be following up on that, as well as a couple of other things. You need to submit some letters from your department. They need to acknowledge that you're a student. So I think it's very important that we start early. So start your applications early, get the ideas you want to write on for the essays very early, begin building it. If you want someone to peer review, just ensure that you get it done early. For the recommendations, already you know that these are the timelines for the application. So at the beginning, even before you get to the place where you probably fill in all those things, you can begin speaking to the people you have in mind, give them an idea of what the scholarship is about. You could give them pointers. So you could, what do you call it? Usually there's a guideline that WMI has for this recommendation letter. So you can send it to them. So you have a picture of what they require of them. So this should be done as early as possible before this December runs out, so that you should be well ahead of the end date for the submission. Because in my head, that's like one of the first streamlining processes. Most people don't finish the applications. So yeah, I hope that clarifies. You guys will pick something.
All right, Sas, thank you so much for that response. First, we want to say thank you once again for offering to still guide us through, and we are very, very grateful for that. So we still have some questions on the chat here. Someone is asking, what about those that just got admitted into the university? No volunteering experience, no community service, just maybe being a worker in church, but I'm interested in community service and will start it once we resume school. I don't know if you get the question. Let me just read it one more time. Someone is asking, what about those that just got admitted into the university? No volunteering experience, no community service, just maybe being a worker in church, and I'm interested in community service and will start it once we resume school. Like this person is asking, like, what are the chances?
All right, so I got a question. So you still have December, January, February, and March to do something, and there are a lot of applications that people submit and nothing to talk about their past volunteering experience, because the first thing you're gonna see there that they will ask you how many hours of community service have you done. Even so, there are some documentations you have to do. Okay, so I did some community works. Okay, they are gonna ask you what did you do, how many hours, cumulatively, and so you still have time for you to do that. Like you said, when you resume school, so that's something. But actually, we want to see the qualities because it's not just by getting in. We want you to continue the community service, and that's the answer to that question. I think there's someone who also asked a question about how they can reach out to me. You can These days you can basically reach out to anybody via LinkedIn. If you go on LinkedIn, just search Daniel Ayodele Femi. You'll see me, and I don't. You can just send me a message and just say that you're from this CCW, and then I will be glad and happy to help. And as a disclaimer, I don't give my scholarship. I'm just opportune to because I work as a GAB member, so it's one of our responsibilities to review applications, and I am not the only one who reviews applications. Uh, so because I've instances people say they want to reach out to me, and when they reach out to me, they try to say they want to influence the application. It's not possible in WMI. It's thorough, and so I just encourage you to put in your best in the application, and you'll be surprised about the outcome.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you for that response. So we have been encouraged to like be thorough about everything, every detail matters. So okay, Angela, kindly mute your mic. Thank you. Okay, apologies about the distraction. So yes, we have been encouraged already to be thorough. So if you are going to like tell someone about this scholarship, ensure you give detail about how this whole thing. So this meeting is being recorded, so you will have access to it so that you are able to share it directly with the person, and the person will have detailed information about everything that has been discussed tonight. So talking about evidences, like someone is asking here, I have done community service and volunteering activities, but I don't have pictures or videos as proof. Although he's saying, or the person, she is saying rather, I have certificates and awards. How do I make my application stand out?
Okay, I got that question. Well, the truth of the matter is that when you put in your application, you want your application to stand out, right? And these are the things. Like I think this year last year, Nigerians have the highest number of scholars, and there's a reason to it. So, if you don't have any community service work or something, you volunteering experience or the likes, your application is not going to be as fantastic as someone who have volunteering or experiences. And even in the volunteering experience, there are levels to it. Let me put it that way. And there are some you see some fantastic applications that people talk about a lot of things they have done, impactful projects they have done, and then they have evidence, because these days people put, and another thing, please don't just put something in ChatGPT and regurgitate it and use it to apply. We that read the application, we can tell if this is generic or if it's actually what's achievable. You can use ChatGPT, no problem, but make sure that what you're saying is true and realistic. So about that, you still have time, like I answered before. You still have time to try and put yourself together, have some volunteering experience, then put your application. Personally, somebody approached me and tell me about applying for WMI scholarship. I'm always happy to help. And these are some of the things I do tell them. You need to have volunteering experience because those criteria they actually stated on the application are what we use to grade how your application stands out. So no volunteering experience or no communities work because you're just a student does not really put your application at the top. And another thing is that these days, I understand that we do research and stuff, but except if the research have to do with impact, because there are some primary research that you do to solve a problem in the community. You can put it in a way that, because of you saw this problem exist, you carry out the survey or you carry out one or two things, and these are the outcomes, and these outcomes are being implemented in the school, to do something. I don't know the type of research you did. So, but you have to put in a way that it shows that you're actually creating impact in your community or in your school environment and the likes. Research is nice, but when we say research, we only restricted to say we are improving knowledge. That's what they say. Like your research is to improve knowledge. So, but the knowledge, does it help? Does it solve a problem in the community? Is it being implemented? And if those things checks out, then why not? You can put it that you conduct this research, just like the way I've said it previously. In fact, what made us to create the Retina Initiative is an organization that I was volunteering for. Was that we just went to a school and we thought like, let us just ask the students how many of them know about eye health or have even have their eyes checked before. And we saw that 84% of those students, of those pupils, have never had their eyes checked before. So that is really alarming. And so because of that, that created us to form that NGO. So if your research is solving a problem, fantastic.
All right, thank you, sir. Um, if you still have questions, keep them coming. We have spent more than an hour already, and we'll be wrapping up the call very, very, very soon. Thank you, Dr. Femi, for all the responses thus far. So someone is asking also if this scholarship is only for undergraduates.
Yes, the scholarship is for undergrad and diploma. Maybe you are undergoing your OND or HND, or you're in nursing school. You're undergoing a diploma degree certificate. Sorry about my background noise. But undergrad, yes.
No
But
problem,
if
sir.
you applying for scholarship for masters or for a PhD, no, we are not there yet. We are not providing scholarship for PhD or a masters. And if you're in Nigeria and you're in a developing country, so you are also eligible. Like I said before on the call, that there are some developing countries you'll be seeing that they also apply. So you're competing. You're not competing within yourself. You're competing with other countries in the developing area. Nepal, from Zimbabwe, a lot of countries like that. So basically it's for undergrad, but not restricted to like diploma certificates, like nursing, School of Nursing, I think, health, technology, or whatnot. I can't wrap my head around some of the diplomas, but diploma and undergrad.
All right, sir, that's duly noted. Thank you. Okay, we have another question here. Someone is saying, I've not really done any community service, but as a nursing student, I've been posted to hospitals and PHC and assist education and do research. Does that count too?
Okay, so that's a fantastic question. So if you just finished secondary school, although we don't get to select the application that we review, but most applications are either they just got admitted into the university, or they are currently in their undergrad, maybe 100 level, 200, 300, or whatever. So if you just finished secondary school, you need to have, because some of the documents you'll be asked to submit or to upload are your WAEC results or your secondary school certificates, either NECO or your WAEC. Then you also be asked to submit your secondary school transcripts. That's why Dr. Michael was saying that you need to actually sort out all your documents before you apply. That's why the time is long. It's about 3 months or so. So you need to gather all these documents. You're going to submit we call it fee structure for your university. For example, if it is the University of Benin, you download their fee structure and you upload it online. You also upload your admission letter. If you're in 100 level or 200 level, you're going to upload your university transcript, maybe your 100 level results or 200 level results or the likes. So to answer your question, to that, you will be limited in filling in some applications, such as those things I've earlier mentioned. So if you finish university and you are yet to gain admission, sorry, you'll not be able to put in a good application. But if you are finished secondary school rather, and you have those documents ready and you just got admitted into the university, you can apply very, very well. And the column where they ask you for your university transcripts, you can explain that you just get into university, you don't have a result yet. I hope I've been able to answer that question.
Yes, sir. So another question about the nursing students having been posted to hospitals and PHC assist education, but they do not have the person said, I've not really done any community service, but as a nursing student, I've been posted to hospitals and PHC assisting or education and do research.
Yeah.
Does that count?
So yes, it does count. I kind of like spoke about the research part, but as a nursing student, especially health professionals, we have a lot of way we can actually do community works. You see, if you go to any school and you tell them you want to, carry an air talk or this and that, they will actually allow you to do so. You understand? They will actually allow you to do so. So if those research things that you said, because you are being posted to primary health centers, which are where some of these health challenges are predominant, then you are good to go. As long as you can express yourself, you can state your volunteering experience and the rest, then you are good to go.
All right, sir. I hope whoever is asking that question, I hope you're satisfied with that response. Do we still have anyone on the call who wants to ask a live question? Or if you don't want to do that, you can still send them via the chat and I'll be here to read them out. Dr. Michael, please, can you just share with us all that information that you think can be of much more benefit to every applicant, aside what Dr. Femi has emphasized on? Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. One of the reasons I brought Femi on board was because even though there's quite a bit on his plate after now, he has a lot of insight he can share. So he took a large chunk of it, but then there's just some specifics that I would want to add. Quite a number of people are applying for quite a number of people are going to be applying for this the scholarship. So one of the things you want to ensure to do is that your application is not generic, right? Let it not look like what every other person is writing about. So I don't know. I keep making the emphasis on beginning early because you have a lot of time. There are things that would make your application unique. There's a part of the application that is your personal.
Okay, I think we lost him on the call.
Okay,
Can
sorry, can
someone
you
else
hear
still
me?
hear him? Because I can't hear him at the moment. Okay, we can hear you now. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so I was saying that there are things that are personal to you for your personal statement. So things like your personal statement in your application. That's your opportunity to help whoever is reviewing your application get to know you. So your personal story. It needs to, I'm not saying you should write a sad story or a painful story, but it should be unique, it should be personal, and it should give them a picture of why you should be considered for the scholarship. The other things you'll be writing on are projects, right? Personal projects that you probably want to engage in for community service. Now, I think that for this, one of the things to keep in view is that the baseline for every Nigerian is that you're actually kind of, in a way or another, doing a lot of community service. The problem is communicating what you are doing. So it's going to take being observant. There's a lot of people asking questions about community service, what counts as community service, what doesn't count. And Dr. Femi has done great justice in highlighting quite a number of things. But I think that one of the things you probably should take out time to do is find a way to communicate what you are doing. And I mentioned it earlier. So it doesn't have to be the biggest thing, but there are principles that we want to observe, that want to see in what you are doing. Some people there's the whole thing about working using smart goals. So it should be that what you're doing is measurable, is something achievable, is realistic. You're not planning to feed 10 million people with 10,000 things. We're not talking of grandiose ideas. We know that you're seeking a scholarship and you want to make a difference. And so we are seeing the workability of your plan, right? What is the workability of what you're planning to do? Femi here has done quite a lot of outreaches for eye, for cataract surgeries, health education. I'm saying that, and it doesn't have to be starting from up top. You start from the baseline, from the most basic things. So if you're a student at the baseline level, there should be an association in your school that you are part of, whether it's your departmental association. Those are opportunities, those are venues to get started, right? And there's a lot of time, especially at the end of the year season. So you have from now till January to get some community service logged in and get something to talk about or write on. So I'm saying we should step out, try to take notes on how to communicate what we are doing, how to write about your story, so that he talked a lot about churning out ChatGPT stuff. Because everybody has access to that same AI that you're using, the tendency that what you're writing is going to be generic if you just use ChatGPT is very high. So those are some of the things I want to pick out. And then the next thing will be to always ask questions. So patience patience has reached out to us So you can always go through her or any of your coordinators, and you'll be able to communicate to either of us on any questions you have between now and the submission of your applications. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you so much. So, do we still have questions? Because for those asking for how to reach out to Dr. Femi and Dr. Michael after the call. So shortly, I will be sending in a link so we can all pen down our names and phone numbers. You can also indicate interest if you really want to have take this conversation further. So we'll look for a way of gathering every of the questions, and then we can reach out to um, Dr. Femi and Dr. Michael, and then we get responses across to you. But if you vividly can pick out majority of the stuff that we're spoken about rather, you will know that early preparation is like a very, very important factor. So if you know you are the one that want to do this, start early. If also you want to recommend someone, like you want to send for this information to someone, ensure you send it to them on time so that the person can start preparing as early as possible. So, Dr. Femi, please, is there any other thing you would like to share with us as regards any other factors to like look out for, or some other things that you think we can just, get grounded with to be able to like stand out? I I want to be sure that you all can still hear me. Hi, Dr. Femi, please can you still hear us? Okay, can anyone still hear me, please? Oh, all right. Thank you, Praise. I just want to be sure that you all can still hear me. So I also want to be sure that we still have more questions. So if you do not have, I wouldn't want to keep our country representative for too long on this call. This call is recorded, and then if you really want to have access to it, ensure you pen down your name using the attendance link that was just shared some minutes ago. And then also, if you know you want to take this conversation further, you have more inquiries, you want to ask more questions, then ensure you drop your WhatsApp number and let us know so that we can reach out to you. And then we'll be here to guide you through anything that you need to know. And then to make the entire process as seamless as possible. So I don't know if Dr. Femi can still hear me. I just wanted you to like tell us any other thing that you think you want us to take note of. Hi, Daniel, which one? Just use the link and then fill in your details there. Thank you. Use the link, please, and fill in your details. Do not drop your number here. Thank you. Use the link and fill in your details. Thank you, everyone. All right, I'm not sure Dr. Femi is still with us on the call. Dr. Michael, please, any other word that you would want to like share with us before we call this call a wrap?
Okay, so basically, what I would want to say is that I know that it might be quite a bit doing the application. Personally, I had to do the application more than once in 2018, 2019. So point is, and I had the most basic repertoire. Like I hadn't done so much. I had just volunteered at actually one outreach before that. So I think that is really achievable right? You just try to put in the work, get people to look at what you've done. It might look awesome. By the time one or two people get to look at it, you might pick out some things that you probably could do better. Get to do it early and well, trust God about it. He finds a way of getting, he finds a way of ensuring that things go according to plan for you. It was really a pleasure getting to share with you people this evening, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. We are sincerely grateful for your presence and for all the contribution, the advices. I like the factor that you just mentioned now, the God factor. So yes, please, if you are applying for any scholarship at all, anything at all, I think the God factor is always a major factor. So put in your best, do the things that you need to do, ask questions. I think that's one of the emphasis tonight too. Ask question, keep asking questions till we all get it right. Thank you everyone for joining the call. Please, before you leave the call, ensure you fill in your details, especially for those that are interested in this and want to take this conversation further. Ensure you fill in your details so that we can reach out to you and also share the recording of this conversation with you. So before we go, my name is Grace Oniveho, and I'm a representative from TCW. Some people were not here earlier, so I did introduce TCW. TCW is it stands for the Confident Woman. So we are a community of girls that are ready to push ourselves, encourage each other to be better. So in TCW, we believe that a woman can have a 360-degree life balance. So we are always there to support each other in anything at all, academic, finances, relationship, anything at all. So if you are also interested in becoming a member or part of this community, you can also let us know. Then we'll be more than glad to have you join us. So can we celebrate Dr. Femi and Dr. Michael for their time tonight? Can we just celebrate them? You can show by your favorite emoji. You can type on the chat box. Tell us if you actually enjoy your time, if it was not a time wasted. Okay, sorry about that. So I will check the link now and I will ensure that we can all access it and fill in our details. Ensure you stay on the call till you are able to fill in the details correctly. Thank you so much for joining the call. Thank you everyone for your time.